I'm trying to be fair in my analysis of this, because I think the fair thing to do is to credit Portland, because they're a good basketball team and they're really, really cohesive. They clearly have been playing together a while. They know the shot they're looking for, and they've really got some go-to options on the block with Aldridge when they need a bucket, and then they really know what to do in those situations where they need a basket.
Celtics fall to the Blazers 109-96 right before the road trip. This is the Garden Report on Celtics Blog and CLNS Radio. All right, so the Celtics blow this one. They never quite made it close. Let's go to the highlights before we start talking about it. First quarter here, Celtics down 2. Jeff Green with the ball in transition, goes right at the defender, misses the shot. But what a putback here by Avery Bradley, skying up over Robin Lopez. Very nice putback for Bradley here. But later in the first quarter on the break, we're going to see that guy a lot in this highlight reel, LaMarcus Aldridge. But Jared Sullinger had a huge night tonight. He had 26 points in his first ever drive from the perimeter that I can remember in recent history. So later in the second quarter, Gerald Wallace with the steal slips it down to Favarani, who does his best Shaq impression, trying to tear the rim down. And then Phil Pressey hitting a well-contested three on the elbow there. Celtics actually with the lead in this game, but they turn it over, and here he comes again on the break. LaMarcus Aldridge, who had a game-high 27 points tonight, a huge night for him. And then the step-back three here. Blazers going into halftime with the lead. Big shot there. Let's go into the fourth quarter now. Jared Sullinger with one of his 2 3-pointers on the night. Huge return with 26 points, coming back off of missing a game with knee soreness. And then Courtney Lee hits a corner three, make it 94-86 with 9.5 left in the fourth quarter. But let's go to the middle of the fourth quarter here. Kick out to Darrell Wright, who hits the three. Celtics end up losing the game 109-96 to the Blazers. Okay, so let's talk about the premier matchup tonight. Evans, LaMarcus Aldridge versus Jared Sullinger.
Yeah.
Sullinger loses by 1 point. The team loses by a lot more. But it was just a great game overall for both guys. They were able to score down low and able to score on the perimeter.
Yeah, it was. And Sullinger is the really surprising one, because he's been through some injury issues, and he's had trouble playing a lot of minutes at a time. He played 36 in this when he came off the bench and was really, really strong. 11 of 18 shooting. He made a couple of three-pointers. I think he had 3 career three-pointers before this game, and then he hit like 2 in 1 minute in this game.
He's been taking the threes, but he hasn't been hitting them.
He's missed a lot of them. I think he had 3 makes his entire career until tonight. You can check my math on that, but yeah, he showed a lot of skills we didn't know he had. He stepped up and played 36 minutes, like I said. That's an impressive game for him.
It was like you said, everything you said offensively was great, but he couldn't stop Aldridge. Nobody could.
Nobody can.
It's going to be a problem all year with the Celtics. Whenever there's a dominant big man offensively,
we're saying that every show,
right? Because the Celtics can't they can't really defend that. Favarani can't defend that. Sully can do his best, and offensively, Sully's a great guy in the post, and he's like their go-to guy in the post, and he had a number of decent post moves tonight. Despite the three-pointers which I love seeing fall, I like to see him down low on the block, and he's quick. He's got quick feet, and I was more impressed by that tonight. But Aldridge, what can you say? I mean, he's an all-star. He's a great player. You kind of knew going in that Aldridge was going to have a big game, and it was just a matter of time before the Blazers utilized that mismatch.
Right. Let's take a look at the shot chart here. Aldridge he got almost every single play in the post. 6 for 7. He had 3 offensive rebounds, so clearly that's where his bread and butter was tonight. Yeah. And he spread it around. He got a basket in almost every single component of the mid-range game tonight. Evans, I mean, a lot of those shots were with Brandon Bass's hand, like almost touching his nose. Bass was so tight on him, but
maybe one or two of those.
Exactly, but it's very rare that he misses a jumper from that area.
It's very rare that he misses anything when he's got guys guarding him who just can't even get a hand up in his face. I mean, like you say, a hand in his nose. I think that's a stretch.
No,
I mean,
I didn't say in his nose. I said near his nose.
Whatever.
If Bass is picking his nose, that might be a foul.
Maybe like the chin area.
Yeah, maybe you kind of sit there and watch LaMarcus Aldridge score a few times. Yeah. I really, really did not like the defense against LaMarcus Aldridge tonight. Like, I thought Bass could have put a little more effort into it.
You can say you completely disagree.
I completely disagree. All right.
I completely
Yeah.
disagree
Shots
with
fired.
you. Okay, well, if we're getting hardcore here, I mean,
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's.
There's a lot of
We're
plays
gonna get out of the way, Jimmy.
Let's do this.
There were just a lot of plays where Aldridge is back to the basket from like 18 feet out. Bass
Yeah.
is right on him. He just pivots into Bass, which means Bass has to take a step back to give him a little bit more space, otherwise it's a foul. And then he pulls up for the shot. Bass is right there in his eye, and there's just not much he can do about it because Aldridge has some good moves.
There's also plays where Aldridge just dribbles right around him and takes 7 steps, and Bass is just
There's
flat-footed watching.
Yeah, there's those ones too, of course.
I think you guys.
Well,
are
there shouldn't be
I think you
those.
guys are focusing on the shots that defend your argument. I mean, I think there was a little bit of both. I remember a really nice shot from Aldridge with Bass in his face, and I also remember just seeing Aldridge sort of like cruise to the basket. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that there's a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say that Bass had a great game defensively on Aldridge. Clearly, I mean, he was 11 for 18 shooting.
Yeah.
But saying all that, Aldridge is a really good player. He's much better than Bass. We already talked about it. He's much better than Favrani, Sully, Olynyk, any guy. It's a mismatch. So I don't think you can blame Bass for playing bad defense, but I just think that even if Bass was playing, he could have played better. We've seen Bass defend LeBron.
We knew going in this was going to be a problem. So,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing
Right.
nothing shocks us here.
Yeah.
Okay,
We've
so-
seen Bass defend guys like LeBron, so I guess at the end of the day, there's really an
We
excuse.
have seen him stand near those people while
No,
they
but
play offense. I suppose that is the
He-
case.
He's had some success against guys like LeBron and Carmelo in the
I mean,
past.
that is vastly
He's
overblown,
not like a
but
shot.
whatever.
He's not like a stopper or a shutdown defender. But
No, he's not.
anyways, just go on.
This is why you're sitting in the
There's
middle.
give and take.
Yeah,
There's-
you're a good
This is
peacemaker,
we don't
but
tear each other's
I'm
faces.
worked up still.
Okay. Anything else, Evans, from the game? Just anything else that was
Anything
important to
from
you
the game?
emotionally?
I will say this about Sully.
Yeah,
35 minutes tonight, coming off the bone bruise, and tomorrow they have a game. I'm really interested to see how he plays tomorrow.
Ice, ice, baby, as he said.
He said we asked him about it. We asked him, how he feels he's gonna be. He's like, that's why God invented ice. So, and I was like, that's so true. That's so true.
Right.
So
That's
he's
one
gonna
reason
ice
that
all night,
ice exists,
and
yeah.
I guess listen to Vanilla Ice all night as well.
Like the cool kids are doing.
And we'll see tomorrow how many minutes he plays. If Brad Stevens takes it easier on him. I mean, if Sully can't go another 30 tomorrow, the Celtics going to be in trouble because the T-Wolves are legit. They're coming off a tough loss tonight against the Denver Nuggets.
And they have a big man who can shoot as well.
Right. I mean,
Pekovic is scary, and Kevin Love
yeah,
is scary.
both of those guys can shoot and stretch the floor. And I mean, Sully said it. He looks up to guys like Kevin Love, or I think he said specifically Kevin Love, because he's the type of player that sort of transformed his body, and his game is just all over the court is.
And
Kevin
similar
Love.
skill sets, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And we keep saying Sullinger's going to have his hands full with this big man or that big man. It doesn't stop happening. I mean, their next 4 games are going to be Pekovic and Love, then Dwight Howard, Tim Duncan, Roy Hibbert. It doesn't let up. Every team's got a great big man. So, get used to it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's why the team was I think built to lose in a way, because
Yeah.
there's no answer for the down low. On defense, there's no answer.
Okay, well, we'll come back with part 2, actually talking about that defense 10 games into the Brad Stevens era.